Intelligence is usually seen as a huge advantage. After all, if you know a lot, you can think carefully about choices and avoid big mistakes, right? But there's a hidden trap that many bright people fall into. They believe their brain power alone guarantees success. This could lead them to overlook simple money habits that aren't very exciting, but are proven to work. A clear example is long-term capital management in the late 1990s. This hedge fund had famous economists, including Nobel Prize winners Robert Merton and Myron Scholes. They were certain their math models would outsmart the market, but when trouble hit, their models collapsed in a dramatic way, and the fund lost vast amounts of money. That event shook the finance world, and it showed that even the smartest minds can overlook basic risks. Intelligence can blind people, especially if they believe they're always one step ahead. That overconfidence can become a big barrier to building steady wealth and can even cause total disaster if things go wrong. Smart people often dig deep into every decision. They go through research papers, analyze small details, and try to predict every possible outcome. On one hand, it is good to be thorough, but sometimes you can get stuck in analysis paralysis, spending so much time investigating that you never act. Meanwhile, other people are making simple, consistent moves and getting ahead. Behavioral experts like David Robson, who wrote The Intelligence Trap, explain that the most knowledgeable folks often struggle with taking timely action. Bill Ackman's investment in Valeant Pharmaceuticals is a legendary cautionary tale. He did a lot of research, felt certain about his data, and stuck with the position as challenges mounted. Eventually, the complexity snowballed and led to a huge loss. The lesson? If you wait for the perfect plan, you might miss real chances to grow your money. Many high achievers think certain money moves are too simple to be effective. For example, they might dismiss basic index funds or straightforward retirement accounts because those strategies sound too basic for someone with a big brain. Yet, these are some of the strongest ways to build wealth over the long run. Even Warren Buffett has recommended index funds for most people. He believes that a low-fee, broad-based approach often beats complex methods. That might feel counterintuitive if you've studied advanced finance or economics. You might ask yourself, why settle for average market returns when I could pick the next big stock? In reality, aiming for big wins can expose you to massive risks. Sometimes the less flashy path works best because it keeps you disciplined and frees up your time to earn, save, and invest reliably. If you're enjoying these insights, go ahead and subscribe. I promise I'll keep sharing real, practical ways to build wealth that even the smartest people often ignore or overlook. Intelligence can turn into a weakness if it makes you overconfident. Daniel Kahneman, in Thinking Fast and Slow, describes how overconfidence can trick us into thinking we know more than we do. When you believe you're right beyond any doubt, you stop looking for blind spots. Celebrities like Nicolas Cage have blown through millions of dollars, buying houses, yachts, and rare items because they assumed large incomes would always roll in, or they thought they could fix money problems later. For intelligent, high-earning professionals, a similar pattern can emerge. They might think they can always earn more, so they do not build a safety net, or they might use big words and complicated charts to justify risky bets, even when they have no backup plan if things fall apart. Some people keep saying they'll start investing once they fully understand a detailed system. They tell themselves, I'll open that retirement account as soon as I create the perfect strategy. Meanwhile, time passes and they lose the advantage of compounding. A lot of wealth building is about taking small steps early and letting growth happen year after year. The pursuit of perfection can hurt you because you never actually take the first step. Contributing to a retirement account a bit every month or investing in basic index funds might seem too simple for an advanced thinker. But guess what? Those small moves can lead to big results after 10, 20, or 30 years. Delaying tiny investments can cost you thousands or even hundreds of thousands down the line, all because you want an ideal plan. You see it with doctors, engineers, lawyers, and highly educated individuals across the board. They earn large salaries, but also spend heavily on luxury cars, houses in expensive areas, and high-end restaurants. This pattern is called lifestyle inflation, where spending rises as income rises. People justify their spending by saying, I've worked so hard, so I deserve this, or I must present myself in a certain way for my job. But a bigger paycheck can vanish fast if your monthly costs also explode. Studies that appear in journals like the Journal of Economic Perspectives show this issue is real for many high earners. They're sometimes more leveraged with debt and have less in savings than you would expect. Intelligence does not guard you from social and emotional pressures to keep up appearances, get the newest gadgets, and make your life look impressive. Sometimes, bright individuals believe they should know everything, so when they do not understand a concept in personal finance, they might stay quiet because asking questions feels embarrassing. By not seeking advice, they keep repeating the same mistakes, whether it's trading stocks without a clear strategy or taking on a mortgage they can barely handle. They might feel awkward admitting they're clueless about tax-efficient investing, diversification, or even building a budget spreadsheet. Yet, that humility, that willingness to say, I need help here, is critical for learning. Warren Buffett, for example, surrounds himself with people who challenge his ideas. He famously looks for feedback even though he's considered one of the smartest investors of all time. The moment you think you're too smart to ask questions is the moment you stop growing. Michael Jackson was not known for academic brilliance, but he did have a keen business sense about his brand and music empire. Yet, he ended up with massive debts thanks to extravagant spending and poor financial management. Another powerful example is Enron, a company that recruited some of the best and brightest employees. They all believed in flashy, complicated deals that seemed like pure genius on paper. But beneath it, there was plenty of bad accounting and greed. The whole company collapsed in one of the biggest corporate scandals of its time. Both cases show that name recognition, talent, and even strong revenue are no guarantees of solid money choices. When big brains become too confident in their own ideas and ignore plain sense, the downfall can be huge and shocking. Admitting that even geniuses can fail is a big step towards protecting your own finances. Humility is about staying open to new ideas, even if they seem less flashy than your own. It's also about acknowledging that market conditions can change in ways you cannot predict, no matter how smart you are. In David Robson's The Intelligence Trap, we see time and again that raw IQ is no fortress against bad judgment. Daniel Kahneman's work backs this up, stressing that our biases can overpower our logical side. If a Nobel Prize can't protect you from mistakes, nothing can. The good news is that humility keeps you cautious. It nudges you to learn from others, question your own certainty, and take practical steps rather than rely on intellectual theories alone. First, keep your approach simple. Don't dismiss index funds, regular retirement contributions, or an emergency fund simply because they don't sound sophisticated. These basics work for many people, and they can work for you too. Second, act sooner rather than later. Don't wait for a perfect plan, because time in the market is often more potent than timing the market. Third, watch out for your lifestyle inflation. Question your spending habits and figure out if your purchases really improve your life or just your image. Fourth, seek advice when you need it. Talk to someone who knows more, whether that's a financial planner or a friend who invests responsibly. Finally, stay humble. Check your own biases and be aware that the bigger your brain, the bigger the tendency to trust that brain without question. In the end, intelligence can be a valuable tool, but it's no guarantee you'll get rich or stay rich. You can do deep research and still fall into traps like overthinking, overspending, delaying good habits, or refusing help because you hate looking silly. A robust financial life depends on regular, disciplined actions rather than pure mental gymnastics. Remember that many brilliant people have lost fortunes by ignoring basic rules of money and letting their pride take over. That doesn't have to be you. If you found these lessons helpful, make sure to subscribe to this channel. Here, I'll share wealth-building methods used by some of the world's most successful people, and we'll break them down into clear steps you can master. By sticking around, you'll learn how to avoid the pitfalls that even the smartest minds can sometimes tumble into. Embrace humility, keep it simple, and you'll set yourself up for the kind of wealth that stands the test of time.